Non-alcoholic beer sales are soaring. In 2024, the category reached over $440 million in sales in the United States alone, with double-digit growth every year since 2020. Athletic Brewing Company, a young brand less than a decade old, drives about a third of this growth. The rise of non-alcoholic beer reflects a shift in how people view drinking. It is no longer just a substitute for those avoiding alcohol. It is a lifestyle choice, a flavorful option for a new generation. To understand why non-alcoholic beer is booming, we need to explore its transformation from a bland afterthought to a craft beverage that rivals traditional beer in taste and appeal. Prohibition in the United States, starting in 1920, birthed non-alcoholic beer. Breweries, desperate to survive, created alcohol-free versions of their products. The result was often watery, tasteless, and uninspiring. For decades, non-alcoholic beer languished as a niche product, consumed mainly by those who had no other choice. The lack of innovation meant that for nearly 80 years, the category saw little change. Most brands simply took their regular beer and stripped out the alcohol, leaving a product that felt like a compromise. People drank it to blend in at social gatherings, not for enjoyment. The stigma of non-alcoholic beer as a lesser option persisted, and distribution was poor, with few brands available. In 2017, Heineken introduced Heineken 0.0, a non-alcoholic beer that changed perceptions. Unlike earlier versions, it aimed for flavor and quality, not just functionality. Heineken marketed it with flair, sponsoring high-profile events like Formula One races. Suddenly, non-alcoholic beer felt exciting, even trendy. The move sparked interest in the category, showing that alcohol-free beer could be more than a fallback. Brewers began to see the potential, and consumers started to notice. The global non-alcoholic beer market, valued at $16.6 billion in 2021, was projected to hit $23 billion by 2025. Heineken 0.0 proved that non-alcoholic beer could compete in taste and cultural relevance, setting the stage for others to follow. Athletic Brewing, leading the charge. Athletic Brewing Company, founded in 2017, took the category to new heights. Unlike traditional breweries, Athletic focused solely on non-alcoholic beer, giving it a unique edge. The company invested over $100 million in manufacturing and developed a proprietary brewing process. Instead of simply removing alcohol from traditional beer, Athletic rethought the entire production, making 10 to 12 adjustments across all brewing stages. This approach ensured a product that tasted like craft beer, not a diluted version. In 2024, Athletic outsold giants like Heineken and Budweiser in non-alcoholic beer sales in the United States, claiming a 53% share of the category's growth that year. The company's Connecticut facility can produce 450,000 barrels annually, making it one of the largest dedicated non-alcoholic breweries in the world. A new San Diego facility, with another under construction, will soon push capacity past 1 million barrels per year. Efficiency and innovation in brewing. Athletic's process is not just about taste, it is also efficient. For every 3.5 gallons of water used, Athletic produces 1 gallon of non-alcoholic beer. In contrast, the Brewers Association estimates that traditional craft breweries use about 7 gallons of water per gallon of beer. This efficiency reduces waste and costs, allowing Athletic to scale rapidly. The company also tailors its process to meet strict food safety standards, a challenge for traditional brewers entering the non-alcoholic space. Unlike alcoholic beer, which benefits from alcohol's natural preservative qualities, non-alcoholic beer requires pasteurization and rigorous safety protocols. Athletic's focus on these details ensures consistency and quality, setting it apart from competitors who treat non-alcoholic beer as an afterthought. A strategic expansion. Athletic's growth is strategic, guided by data from its direct-to-consumer sales. In 2018, over 50% of its sales came through its website, providing insights into customer preferences and locations. Early data showed strong demand in California and the Pacific Northwest, prompting Athletic to build its first San Diego facility in 2020 and expand it fourfold by 2021. This move allowed the company to meet rising demand efficiently. Unlike alcoholic beer, which faces strict distribution regulations, non-alcoholic beer can be sold directly online and in unconventional venues. Athletic capitalized on this, placing its products in coffee shops, convenience stores, and even state park beaches, places where alcohol is often unavailable. About 5% of its 75,000 distribution points are locations not licensed to sell alcohol, broadening its consumer habits. The rise of non-alcoholic beer reflects changing attitudes toward alcohol. Athletic found that 80% of its customers still drink alcohol, and over 75% are under 45 years old. This younger demographic, especially Generation Z, prioritizes health and balance. They are unapologetic about choosing not to drink, rejecting the stigma once associated with non-alcoholic options. A trend called zebra striping has emerged, where people alternate between alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks to moderate their alcohol intake during social events. In some New York City bars, like Top Hops in downtown Manhattan, Athletic has been the top-selling beer overall for over a year. This shift shows that non-alcoholic beer is not just a substitute but a complement to traditional beer, appealing to those who want to enjoy a beer's taste without the effects of alcohol. In new markets, Athletic's distribution strategy goes beyond traditional beer aisles. At Whole Foods, where about 50% of cooler space is dedicated to craft beer, Athletic secured a spot just 1 month after its commercial launch in 2018. Its non-alcoholic status gave it an edge in a competitive market, as customers were open to trying new brands. By 2023, Athletic sold over 258,000 barrels, a massive leap from the 875 barrels sold in its first year. The company's success at Whole Foods, where it has been the top-selling beer across all categories for over a year, highlights its ability to resonate with health-conscious consumers. Non-alcoholic beer now accounts for 1.5% of all grocery store beer sales in the United States, up from just 0.3% a few years ago. In Europe, where non-alcoholic beer makes up 5 to 10% of the market, the United States is catching up, driven by better distribution. The boom in non-alcoholic beer reflects a broader cultural shift toward mindful living. People are rethinking their relationship with alcohol, seeking balance in work, life, and leisure. Non-alcoholic beer fits into this lifestyle, offering a way to enjoy social occasions without compromising health or productivity. Unlike alcoholic beer, which might not suit a lunchtime break or a late afternoon at the office, non-alcoholic beer fills those gaps. Athletic markets its products for anytime, anywhere consumption, appealing to those who want to stay sharp while still enjoying a beer-like experience. Over 50% of Athletic's customers buy its products in places where they would typically choose water or soda, expanding the occasions for drinking beer. Challenges and competition. The non-alcoholic beer market is not without challenges. As more breweries, including over 40 craft brands, enter the category, competition is intensifying. Major players like Heineken and Budweiser are investing heavily, leveraging their established distribution networks. For Athletic, focusing solely on non-alcoholic beer is both a strength and a risk. If the trend fades, traditional breweries can fall back on their alcoholic products, but Athletic's future depends on sustained demand. The question remains: how much non-alcoholic beer can consumers embrace? While growth is strong, the category's long-term potential is uncertain. Athletic is betting big, with plans to expand production and distribution, but it must continue innovating to stay ahead. Non-alcoholic beer is no longer a niche product. Its rise reflects a perfect storm of innovation, cultural change, and strategic marketing. Athletic Brewing Company has led the way, proving that non-alcoholic beer can be flavorful, efficient, and widely appealing. With a global market projected to exceed $23 billion by 2025 and growing acceptance among younger consumers, the category shows no signs of slowing down. In the United States, where it now accounts for 1.5% of beer sales, the potential for growth mirrors Europe's more mature market. As breweries refine their processes and distribution expands, non-alcoholic beer is poised to become a staple, not just a trend. The beverage that was once an afterthought is now a symbol of a new way to enjoy beer, without limits.